Within 72 hours, 700 employees threatened to quit. Microsoft scrambles a plan B. Investors panic over a $90 billion valuation. The AI safety community fractures. By Monday morning, he's back, with more power than before. This is the story of the fastest corporate coup in history, a $13 billion chess game, and the week that changed AI forever. 2023. 5:17 p.m. Pacific Time. Sam Altman, CEO of the most important AI company on Earth, opens his laptop. He's not reading an email from his board. He's reading Twitter. That's how he found out he was fired. At 5 p.m., Sam Altman gets a Google Meet invite, 15 minutes notice. 4 board members on the call. The conversation lasts 8 minutes. Sam Altman, the man who testified before Congress, who met with heads of state, who became the face of artificial intelligence, is told his services are no longer needed. The public statement is vague. The board no longer has confidence in his ability to lead. That's it. No details, no examples, no warning. Within an hour, Greg Brockman, OpenAI's president and Sam's closest ally, quits in solidarity. Twitter erupts. Investors are blindsided. Employees are confused. Competitors are circling. And Microsoft, who had invested over $13 billion, finds out the same way everyone else did, on social media. Saturday morning, inside OpenAI's Slack channels, chaos. Employees demand answers. Senior researchers threaten to walk. And one name keeps appearing: Ilya Sutskever, OpenAI's chief scientist, co-founder, Sam's friend. He was on the board. He voted to remove Sam. But here's where it gets weird. By Saturday afternoon, Ilya posts on X, "I deeply regret my participation in the board's actions." He regrets it. Less than 24 hours later, what happened in that room? Sunday. By Sunday evening, something unprecedented happens. Over 700 OpenAI employees, 95% of the company, sign an open letter. Reinstate Sam Altman and Greg Brockman, or we quit, all of us, and we'll go work for Microsoft, who, by the way, has already offered us all jobs. This isn't a negotiation, it's a hostage situation. Monday morning, the board blinks. Sam Altman is reinstated as CEO. The board that fired him, gone, replaced, neutralized. 5 days, that's all it took, to fire a CEO, to nearly destroy a $90 billion company, and to stage the fastest corporate reversal in Silicon Valley history. December 2015, San Francisco. A group of tech billionaires makes an announcement. They're starting OpenAI, a nonprofit. Their mission? To ensure artificial general intelligence benefits all of humanity. Beautiful, right? Noble, pure. It lasted about 3 years. Here's the problem with idealism. Training AI models is obscenely expensive. GPT-3 alone cost an estimated $4 to $5 million to train. GPT-4, over $100 million. By 2019, OpenAI was burning cash. The nonprofit structure couldn't sustain it, so they did something creative. They created a capped profit subsidiary, a hybrid, part nonprofit, part for-profit. Investors could make returns up to 100 times their investment. Everything above that goes to the nonprofit. In theory, the nonprofit board still controls everything. In practice, Microsoft enters the chat. 2019, Microsoft invests $1 billion. 2021, another billion. 2023, $10 billion more. But it's not just money. Microsoft gets exclusive access to OpenAI's models, compute infrastructure control, deep integration with Azure. The nonprofit that promised independence is now deeply entangled with one of the largest corporations on Earth. And Sam Altman, he's the bridge between both worlds. By 2023, Sam Altman wasn't just a CEO, he was a movement, meeting with presidents, testifying before Congress, touring 6 continents. Publicly, his message was consistent. Artificial intelligence is dangerous. We need regulation. We must proceed carefully. But behind closed doors, a different story. November 2022, ChatGPT launches. No announcement, no press release. It was just dropped. Within 5 days, 1 million users. Within 2 months, 100 million. The fastest growing consumer app in history. According to multiple reports, some OpenAI researchers were uncomfortable. They felt safety testing was rushed, that commercial pressure was overriding caution. And then there's Q-Star. In the days before Sam's firing, rumors emerged about an internal project called Q-Star. An internal breakthrough, something that frightened researchers. Reports claimed Q-Star could solve math problems it had never seen before, that it showed signs of reasoning, a possible step toward AGI. OpenAI denies this was the reason for Sam Altman's firing, but the timing is interesting. Here is the tension. The board's job was to protect humanity. Sam's job was to build the future. But what if those two goals were no longer aligned? At the center of this entire crisis was a single question. How close was OpenAI to something truly unprecedented? Inside the company, Q-Star was not presented as just another model. According to multiple reports, it represented a shift, not better predictions, not faster responses, but the ability to reason, to solve problems it had never seen before. That distinction matters, because reasoning is one of the final barriers between narrow AI and artificial general intelligence. Several researchers reportedly believe this crossed a line, that deployment timelines were moving faster than safety frameworks, and that once a system can reason, you no longer control every outcome. If even part of those concerns were valid, the board faced an impossible decision: slow things down and risk losing the lead, or push forward and risk losing control. That tension didn't start in November 2023, but that week it finally exploded. Let's talk about what really happened. Because this wasn't just about safety, not entirely. This was about power and money, specifically $90 billion. In the months before the coup, OpenAI was raising a new funding round. The valuation? Between $86 and $90 billion. But there was a problem. Investors wanted Sam, not the board, not the nonprofit mission, Sam Altman. One investor reportedly said, "We're investing in Sam Altman, not OpenAI." The board saw what was happening. The nonprofit structure was becoming a fiction. The mission was being sidelined, and Sam was consolidating power. So the board tried to take control back, but they made a fatal miscalculation. They forgot who actually runs a company. It's not the board, it's the employees. And the employees chose Sam. Microsoft chose Sam. The investors chose Sam. The board had legal authority, but Sam had something stronger: leverage. Let's talk about the winners. Winner, Sam Altman. Before the coup, he was a CEO with board oversight. After the coup, he returned with a friendly board and a mandate from his employees. He went from powerful to the most powerful person in artificial intelligence. Winner, Microsoft. Publicly, they stayed neutral. Privately, they offered every OpenAI employee a job. No matter what happened, Microsoft won. Now the losers, the board. They tried to assert control. They were removed. Helen Toner, gone. Tasha McCauley, gone. Ilya Sutskever, eventually gone. And the real loser? Transparency. To this day, we still don't know what was said in those board meetings, what actually triggered the firing, or what promises were made to bring Sam Altman back. Here's why this matters. ChatGPT now has over 200 million users. You might be one of them. OpenAI's models power Microsoft Copilot, customer service bots, coding assistants, writing tools, even medical diagnostics. Sam Altman has said publicly that artificial general intelligence could arrive within the next few years. Not decades, years. And here's the uncomfortable truth. One company, one CEO, one board effectively appointed by that CEO controls the most advanced AI on the planet. No public oversight, no democratic input, no transparency. If OpenAI makes a mistake, the consequences won't be theoretical, they'll be global. And after November 2023, the one mechanism designed to slow things down, the board, was neutralized. But the story doesn't end there, because in the years since the coup, something else has been happening. Ilya Sutskever left to start a new, safety-focused AI lab. Jan Laika, head of Super Alignment, resigned, citing safety concerns. Multiple researchers have quietly departed, and just months later, OpenAI restructured again, this time to become a fully for-profit company. The nonprofit that started it all is being sidelined even further. Meanwhile, investigations are underway. Former board members are speaking out. Competitors are accelerating. And Sam Altman? He's raising another funding round. Valuation, $150 billion. More valuable than most countries. The coup succeeded. Sam Altman won. But the question that started all of this remains unanswered. Who controls the future of intelligence? Because the people who were trying to slow things down, they're gone. and no one is hitting the brakes. This channel exists for one simple reason: to slow things down, to strip away the noise, and to understand the forces shaping our future. No hype, no tribalism, just clear thinking. If you value long-form investigations about power, technology, and money, this is Rise and Reason. Subscribe if you want the next chapter, because the story of artificial intelligence is far from over, and the decisions being made today will define everything that comes next.